All right, so I'll explain sweep or sell really quick, and then we get into it.
Yeah.
But for everybody out there watching, basically what this is we're gonna look at the top 10 projects on OpenSea, and just looking at whatever their floor price is right now, whether we would sweep it or sell it. We got to pick one, and it's just it's all our own opinions and all that. So we can get into it here. But the Punk's got a 76 ETH floor. How do you feel about that one?
Yeesh. There were a lot of Punk sales this weekend. I was just on the Spaces earlier, and I heard that there was like something ridiculous, like 60 maybe in the last week or something like that, and then a couple major bids on some of these 8 Punks. If I had the dough right now, that's a little caveat, right? Sweep or sell, you got the dough.
Yep.
I'd probably sweep the Punks, man. I just think historically, like, they're still one of my grails, always have been. Want to get a Punk one day. And the fact that they're in Yuga's hands now, and what you said about the other side, we might be at the start of one of these little bull runs. So I think any established projects like these guys, I'm sweeping the Punks. We got some nice ones on the floor here. I'll take them all.
I gotta agree with you on this one. I would probably be sweeping the Punks for the same exact reasons. The historic value of these are not going away, and
Right.
in bear markets, I honestly think that is a plus for it.
Totally.
And then now that they got Yuga Labs building some more utility into them, it just makes sense to hold on to them for longer. So I'd be sweeping. I think they should be over 100 ETH floor, easy.
And I'm looking at this is what, 12 right here. Get all 12 of them under 80.
Yeah.
And that's 100 play easy. Yeah.
Simple if you're rich.
You got to spend money to make money. All right, next up.
All right, number 2, Project 0xD38. I'll get us kicked off on this one because I think my answer is pretty obvious. I'm sweeping these. I think they got some hype behind them. I really don't have any other stuff to base my thing off of other than there's some mystery to it. There's only 10,000 items, and they have really popular people that are whales in their project, so they're just gonna keep pumping it up. That's just how it works. So I'm sweeping. I could see these going to at least an ETH.
At least an ETH. Okay,
that's my hot take actually. If we get into hot takes, there it is.
Hot take. Run into one. I don't know enough about the project. The Cranksy thing kind of doesn't. It's not like it doesn't sit well with me, but I just think that might have artificially pumped them up a little high too fast, and sometimes, unfortunately, that can be the reason a project runs or not. I'm also fading them because I didn't get in at 0.05 2 days ago, so I'm selling these things.
I feel you. That's exactly how I felt about the Goblins. Maybe we're gonna have roles reversed on this one.
But ask me when they get to 0.5, and I'll probably sweep them then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at that point, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. So number 3.
It's kind of like cutting your losses, but in reverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to fight the trend.
Don't want to fight the trend.
Yeah, I guess that's how I trade these also, but I don't know. I'd probably be a little bit more cautious since it is the bear market.
Facts.
Like, there's no confirmation that we're gonna go long-term bull. So for all we know, this could be just a short recovery and then pain only again for the next few months.
Yeah, I'm banking on pain post reveal for Project Ox D3.
Yeah, that's why I like these really short plays like this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3. The Saudis. Sweep or sell? Paper. What you got?
I think we could probably both answer this at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going sell.
Yeah, same here.
I'm going sell.
That's an easy sell. To me, that's just like Bagner, except for I have no idea who the fuck is paying 0.73 for these. Or it was 1 ETH yesterday.
Yeah, and it was higher than that too. I feel like the 12, 24 hours before, like, I don't know anything about them other than the fact that they're a deriv. I saw some I saw him on my feed for a little bit. I just feel like I missed the swing. If we're talking flip, sweep, or sell for a flip, I think I missed the swing. Could have got in pre 1 ETH, and I think they're already on the way down. So just based on that alone, I'm selling.
Yeah. Nothing at all compels me about this project. I think it's very dumb. I saw Farouk was behind it. That's automatically, I'm not going to touch that. That's just rule of thumb right there.
How do you really feel, my friend?
You're going to get straight 100% honesty right here.
Nothing compels me about this project.
Yeah, that's honestly, like, that's how I feel about most NFT projects.
Yeah,
like, yeah, a lot of projects don't do a really good job of creating that need for somebody. Yeah, it's not easy to do, but if you're just gonna launch a regular profile pic thing and not do anything about it, and especially if it's called the Saudis, like, come on.
So don't bring your PFP projects around paper unless they're bringing some utility.
Yeah, if you ain't got utility, get out of my house.
All right. We
gotta skip number 4.
Artbox curated.
Yeah, we can't do this one. I guess unless you just want to talk about Artbox projects in general.
Yeah, right. We got Fidenzas coming up, so let's just jump to Meebits maybe.
Yeah, Meebits. It's 6.1 floor price. What you doing?
They're running right now. We talked about them on the last podcast too, I think, and they were high 4s maybe or something like that, low 5s ish around there. I don't know. When projects run, I think they run for a little bit. I can see this. If it's already broke 6, one would assume the next big floor is probably at 6.9. So I'm sweeping these.
That's facts.
That's facts. I'm sweeping the Meebits, and I think you should too.
I am. I would sweep the Meebits also. 6.1 seems like a pretty decent price. They have, if you want to compare,
that's lower than
CryptoPunks to Meebits. Huh?
Oh, my bad. What were you gonna say?
Oh, so I like to look at things in ratios. So you got the Bored Ape and Mutants. The Bored Ape has 10K supply. Mutants have 20. These are trading at a fifth of the price.
And that's usually where it stays. If they get running before the apes, they might get to a quarter, but it's usually around never higher.
Right. And then, like, if we look at the punks and Meebits, if we just call this the tier 2 of these, then you got the 10K and 20K. That's the same. Yeah. 6 ETH floor price compared to 75. This is low. It's like more than a tenth smaller. I don't know if I said that right, but
yeah. No, I'm tracking.
Yeah, I think it's like somewhere around 12 times smaller than punks, as opposed to 5 times smaller compared to these. So I think there's room to close the gap for Meebits, especially if they're gonna end up having the same utility as punks under the Yuga ecosystem.
Yeah,
so I'm sweeping.
Agreed. Sweeping. Quick math is 12.4. I feel like they could easily be around just 10.
Like, yeah, I mean, that would put them right around there, I think.
Put them at 7.6, sell them all at 6.9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I think that might be one of the best buys in the top 10. Just based off if that math ends up coming true. So let's move on to the Fidenzas now. I'm not super well versed in art blocks. How about
110?
you? 110 is heavy.
Bro, I feel like they were in the 70s just last week.
Yeah, and like 30s before that.
Yeah, I mean, during the dip, they were down. That would have been the time to sweep. And now probably is the time to sell. I don't know if I'm sweeping at one term or at 110 unless I'm looking 20 years out. But if we're talking short term, I'm selling at 110 and buying back in later on the next pair.
Yep, I'm selling these also. 110, especially in today's market, I feel like you can make 110 ETH last so much longer, and just by spreading that out into other projects and investing in the stuff when it's low. So to me, that's a sell.
It's a sell.
Yeah, it's just a sell. I don't like holding on to the art block stuff because to me it's all just hot potato. Like when people want them, then they're hot and you can get a lot of money for them. But whenever it's cold, then you really got to find the right buyer if you want to get the liquidity out.
And blocks are hot right now.
Yeah,
Blocks.
they are. Yep. Not the ones I'm in, but the popular ones. All right. So, Mutant Ape Yacht Club finally crossed 20.
Finally crossed 20. I like it. At 20 right now, I'm sweeping.
Yeah, this one's a hard one for me.
It's a tough one. Like, I know I went right with it just out of I'm repping the Mutant on the Ape Well podcast, and it's been a while since we broke 20. But I'm looking at these in like maybe giving them a little bit different perspective than the previous projects on the list. But I'm just so bullish on the other side, the 3D models coming, kind of I feel like other projects have run in this like kind of last week or so outside of Mutants, and I think some of that money typically towards the end of these little mini cycles flows into BayYC and MayYC. And then people try to get their grails if they don't have their Mutant yet. And I think that's what we're seeing now. I could see it run into like 23 or 24, maybe not 25, but I could see it going a little bit.
Yeah, I was on the fence, and I think you just convinced me. I would sweep these also for those same reasons.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're still like, I know this was pre-other side drop, but the price in the past has been twice as high, so we're still 50% down on that.
True. Just on that, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, and then plus the ratio is still pretty, like it's 1/5 of a Bored Ape with basically the same utility. I think that gap should be closer.
Yeah, me too. I think when both of the projects are hot and running, the Mutants can close that gap and get closer to that 1/4. So I could see them getting to 25 before Apes might spread that gap a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. If we really compare the utility and supply of Mutant Apes and Bored Apes together, if we compare the supply, Mutant Apes should be twice as cheap if they have the exact same utility. Half the price, I should say, if they have the same utility. And then, but since it is technically a tier 2, but they basically get the same, basically get the same benefits. I would just put like a tiny little knock on that. So like maybe 1/3 of the price of Bored Apes is like the ideal Mutant price. So like I said, I'm a really big fan of trading ratios, and I look for those whenever the ratio is off to fill in the gap. So just to add to my sweep reasoning, that's why I would do it.
I like where your head's at. 1/3 would be nice. Yuga, you heard him.
Yeah, that's the ideal. That's the ideal spot. So, on to number 8, Other Deed for Other Side. Has anybody ever called it that in the history?
No, definitely not.
All right, so 2.8 floor price. What are you doing? You sweeping or are you selling?
I don't know. This is tough. So at 2.8, we just had like that load test, right? Is there anything else that's coming down the pipeline for the other side or improbable before launch or before 3D models or anything like that we know of?
I think there might be a few more tests, and I was talking to Nibby last night who did the second test. It seems like they add a new thing to each test. So like they actually tested out the spatial voice chat last time, and so far it sounds like everything's been running super smooth between both tests. And I was seeing people's takes on Twitter that they were super impressed at how many people the server could handle. So
interesting.
I'm kind of optimistic about what they are building, just from what I've seen so far.
Right. I mean, at 2.8, I don't think it's like a bad buy. probably right in that range, especially if it's coming off of like a little local top here. But I think other side deeds have a 10% royalty, right? Plus
I'm not
plus
sure.
OPC
They might.
or whatever platform you're using. So we're talking 12 and a half, and I need to get to like what 3.2 then 3.3 just to make a profit. I'm probably selling.
There's a lot listed between 3 and 3.1. There's so much resistance right there. 1,594 other deeds right at 3. Yeah, that kind of. I don't know how I feel about that. That's gonna be a huge barrier to break. It's probably not gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's the hardest because I feel like it's a good price, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon. You know?
Agreed.
But if I had to pick, I'd say buy. I think it's a buy, just because. Honestly, I'm just guessing.
No. Hey, that's all this is anyways, man.
Yeah, I got some bags, so I'm biased, but I would sweep here.
I'm not in the club. I've sold all my deeds, so I am kind of FOMO-ing a little bit, and I wasn't able to do the load test, and that like was a bummer. But like you said, I think in the relatively short term.
Yeah, see, like my worry here is that there's so many listed, and like these people all want to get out of their positions.
Yeah.
And so if there's no buyers and they really want to get liquidity, then they're just gonna have to keep pushing the floor down.
Yep.
It's just too concerning. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Short term.
No, you're locked in, bro. You can't change it.
Yeah, honestly, I could go back and forth all day.
It's in the buy zone. I'll give you that. I don't think you could go wrong long term, but we're talking quick. I'm selling.
It's in the invest zone.
Yeah.
Buy and then hopefully just never look at it again. All right. Number 9, Monster Cave Elder Torch. Do you know anything about this project?
No idea, but I think someone dropped it in one of my group chats earlier today, and I just faded it. For no apparent reason. What do we got?
Yeah, apparently this is one of those other projects like the Egg. Somebody compared it to that, saying that these were the same, like similar type projects, both pumping this weekend.
Same dev, same team?
Probably not the same team, but they're doing the same type of stuff. This gives me a lot of Goblin Town vibes.
That's Goblin vibes for
it's
sure.
Literally Goblin to a T right here.
Yeah.
I'm scared to connect my wallet. Let's see what happens. They're pumping so far, so I guess it can't be a rug, right?
They're pumping. How long have they been out? Let me check.
Probably not long.
0.24. Okay, so they've already exceeded Ox D38. The torches. These look like some weapons out of Diablo 2 or something from back in the day.
Yeah, it was minted 6 days ago, so I'm just gonna guess 6 days ago.
What type of volume do we got?
Let's see. I wish OpenSea had analytics. Okay, 587 ETH the volume.
Here, click that. Let me see.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
I didn't even know you could just click that and go straight to a different thing.
Yes, straight here. What's depending on royalties? It looks like it's got a little hype, a little bit of momentum. It might.
How do we find the royalties?
If you click on one of the items, if any that just sold, and then
yeah, I remember.
It's under details.
There we go. 7%.
Creators 10.2. I'm buying.
Buying?
Fine.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I'm sweeping 12 and I'm getting out around 3.3.
The only thing, I would probably play this very similarly to the eggs. The only reason why I wouldn't sweep the torches is because they're already revealed.
Oh, they're already revealed?
Yeah.
Sell.
At least it looks like it. And so, like, to me, that's one less thing for the community to look forward to. yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about this just pop up on my radar. So usually that's a sign that I don't want to get involved if the people I don't know or the people I know aren't in it. Yeah, it looks like Goblin Town 2.0. And so number 10, we got the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Wow, number 10. That's
Thick
kind of
crust. Yeah, 10 on the. This is a 24-hour volume.
okay.
Okay, so 100 ETH. How do you feel about that price?
I'm buying. What do we got on the floor? Let's see. What do we got?
We got a Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes on the floor is usually a good sign that
We got a
it's bottomed out.
I think I'm sweeping the apes. We had a couple gold fur sales the last few days. Hella bullish.
So Rob, are you selling your ape? This is the CEO of Fan Control Football. This is his ape, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Does that mean we're selling FCF?
Maybe I got to take off this jersey I'm wearing. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go the opposite of you on this one. You're selling the apes. So for the same reason why I would buy mutants, because the ratio is off. It's either mutants are undervalued or apes are overvalued right now. And I think 100 might be a little high, but I guess it really does depend on what's coming next, because we really don't know. I know that Degen Trilogy is coming up next. It seems like a lot of content is coming up with the apes, but just since nothing's been spelled out, there's no dots I can connect. I don't know what month things are planned for. So I just think short term, I would probably sell at 100 ETH and then maybe wait it out to see what the market does. Because if we do go into bear mode, then you can get such great deals.
True.
But I mean, I'd probably, if I was going to sell an ape, I'd probably hedge it with a mutant buy and then save the rest and see what happens.
This isn't sweep, sell, or hedge, my friend. This is sweep or sell.
Oh yeah, I'm selling.
Well, okay, so you track the Bored Apes a little bit better than I do. I pay attention to mutants just because I've got one and I don't have the OG. But how much have they ran up in the last week or two? They were kind of down 80s, weren't they? 85?
I'm not gonna lie, I never look at the floor price for these.
That's fucking awesome.
I just hear when people say the floor price, but we can definitely figure this out pretty quick.
Okay. So, I mean, if they're up, if that is the case, and I think it's something around there anyways, but then you might be up a little bit. I can see the sell decision, and that's a big brain move playing those ratios. A lot of people probably aren't looking at it. To play the other side of the field, though, I think when we hit these 100 marks, the same way mutants cross 20, when apes get 100, we ping pong around it really quick, but then it typically, I feel breaks through. You know what I mean? We might 99.99 might sell. We might be stuck at 100. Someone might undercut it. But once it breaks through, it's okay, 102, 103. People start tweeting about how many until 110. And even if in these local scenarios, they can kind of go up and down kind of quick.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean by that. That's what makes me question whether the choice of sweep or sell was correct on this. But to me, I'm the macro outlook of the market is really what's making me be cautious on this approach. Totally. For me, if I had a blue chip project, I definitely feel most comfortable with one of those. But yeah, it's hard to say what anything's gonna happen, what's gonna happen with anything in the next coming months. So that's what I'm worried about. So I would go on the defensive here.
Go on the defensive, sell, stack a few hundred ETH, and hold. Yep. I like it.
100%.
I like it.
If it was my last ape, definitely would not sell that though. aka that's exactly what I'm doing.